feels like a long way away. But whenever Paimon gets thinking about... Yeah. Anyway, enough about us. Just think. We've fought dragons and sea monsters. With all that experience under our belts. Sure thing. Now, stick close to Paimon.
What about me? Do I get a call out?
Whoa! Columbina? You kind of snuck up on us. Don't look at Paimon. Paimon didn't sell you out this time. Oh, so it was you! Alright,
All your friends have gathered at the flagship to see you up. I invited Sandrone, too. But she said she had to go back. She had some nasty things to say about you before leaving. Would you like to hear them?
she hasn't changed a bit.
If they're heading to Snezhnaya, I'll bet it's to cause trouble for Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Attending a farewell party for people like... Also, please tell them not to count on getting help from a Fatui Harbinger in Snezhnaya. Our time working together was... not terrible, precisely.
Well, that definitely sounds on brand for her. The attitude...
No, you've misunderstood. I think she means that she'd like you to go... As long as you don't make things difficult for both of you, you'll be fine.
Huh. You really have to read between the lines with Centrone.
Go on. Get to the flagship. Everyone should be there by now. Today, I want to return the favor. It's
definitely nice to be treated, but hopefully by this point, you know that you don't owe us any.
The moon of Nodcry will...
I can see! It's so pretty! Come on, keep up! Similar to the ones in Nodcry. You know, just minus the effects of Kuvaki. That's a sure sign that we're officially in Snezhnaya now. There's gotta be a treasure chest around here somewhere. No adventure is complete without a chest or two.
I'll keep this close.
Hey, check it out! Those are bears, right? Oh, look how big and fluffy they are! So cute! Quick, take a picture before the moment passes. Right here. Let's see how your camera skills are these days. Whoa, wait a sec. Come on, quick! It looks like a... Snezhnaya has loads of railways and trains. This must be one of them. But why is it abandoned? Ooh, it's still so cold. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. So it can't just be because of the cold. It's hard to describe, but Paimon, everything feels heavy. Getting kinda dizzy too. Oh, no need. Paimon's just... Yep, sure thing. Snezhnaya? Seems like the snowstorm is getting worse by the minute. Paimon can barely fly. Oh, look! There's a cabin over there. Phew. Let's get out of this storm.
What is this place?
Paimon? Paimon!
That's strange. Where could she be? I guess I'll try further ahead. Hang in there, Paimon. Is that a train carriage? Maybe I can get up from the inside. It says here, Krasnik's torch, civilian model. It's definitely getting a little warmer now it's turned on. I really hope Paimon's okay. What was that strange sound? I can't tell if...
Paimon? Paimon, is that you?
Incoming entity detected. Authorization granted. Initiating original. Hello, Descender, who's reached the eve of tomorrow. Eye of Grey at your service. Time since last activation, time measurement unavailable due to the influence of... Anyway, I am... I was born to fulfill a mission, to reach tomorrow. To this end, I must... Huh? Why is my body like this? Apologies. After a long period of inactivity, Anyway, I was created so that humanity could reach tomorrow. But nevertheless, serving humanity remains my primary objective. I have detected a drop in your surface body temperature. In accordance with my preset programming, upon reactivation, I must ask the one who awakened me the following question. Will you accept me, Transcender? I will assist you, protect you, and fulfill my mission until we reach tomorrow. I understand your position. However, given your current physical condition, I must before I was activated, you called out a name. Presumably that of your missing companion? If you agree to accept me, after helping you get out of here, I will search for said companion and pinpoint their location. To answer your question, yes. You have made a very wise decision. Now that we have reached an accord, you will be my new user. May I ask your name? Very well. I will remember this name until the mission is complete. I need to recover my body. I can sense my power scattered across this ice-covered land. I even have a vague sense of where it might be found. But right now, that is not essential. The key right now is you. You must survive and reunite with your companion. You may now execute the command, Demolish. Prime Ice Unit count has been updated. may now execute the command, build. Use it to create a prime ice construct to prop up the door. Scanning local environment. Exit has been sealed off with ice. That would not be an efficient approach. One moment. Usable construct blueprint detected nearby. You can use this to clear the solid ice ahead of you more quickly. Construct blueprint added to records. You may now execute the command, build heat source. Generate a temporary heat source to rapidly melt the solid ice. My scan indicates the path is straight ahead. I recommend we proceed. Kresnik Crystal located. The recent, unfortunately, prime ice constructs have a very short life. That said, yes. Perhaps then, we can warm ourselves by the fireside together. But for now, all you need to remember is this. If you collect low power. Please use Kresnik Crystal to replenish energy reserves. Signs of physiological activity detected in the distance. It is highly likely to be your travel companion, Paimon. Go. Go now. Be reunited and sing together. May all the people be united as one. May all of life rejoice. Approaching the target location. Scanning for signs of life. Life forms detected. 2. Affirmative. However, that is not the reason for my confusion. Real-time environmental data suggests that the train station may no longer be in use. But whatever the situation...
Paimon! Who are you?
Don't worry. She's only sleeping. You must be the Traveler. She called your name repeatedly while attempting to battle her way through the blizzard. Newcomers to Snezhnaya struggle to adapt to the sheer cold at the best of times. Lately, even the locals are suffering, with a powerful monster having summoned a bitter snowstorm. You two must be very important to one another.
Your eyes. Are you Conrian?
There are indeed some Conrians left in this world who survived the cataclysm. But I doubt it would be unwise to interrogate my identity here. Focus your attention on your travel companion instead. We will meet again very soon.
The unidentified subject has now left the area. He appears to be an individual of great significance, but my search has yielded no relevant data. I will try searching the database again. Against the odds, your companion is safe and sound. The other person even left a blanket for her.
It's okay. Take it easy.
Pretty much the same as when we first got to Snesh. Wait, where did the jester go? Yep, the director of the VII.
The jester must know everything about the Tsaritsa's plans. But there's no way he'd tell me just like that. We might well have... Well, he was right about one thing. Right now, the most important thing for...
He had no intention of explaining his motives.
Hey! What the... Who is that? It looks like... half a pair of goggles.
Snezhnaya was once the land of the Fae. There are many ancient creations here that I'm sure would broaden your mind.
Oh, wow! Well, thank you so much.
Goodwill detected. Instead of candy, perhaps I can say...
Oh, that makes sense. Every pair of goggles needs wiping clean once in a while. Sure, anyway, back to the jester for a second. Paimon's still confused about something. When he first showed up, he already knew Paimon's name. And he acted like he expected Paimon. Paimon could tell that he was Conrian from his eyes. And he definitely seemed like someone pretty important. But beyond that, it was only later, after he rescued Paimon from the snow, that he... seems unlikely. He ran into the snow following, and after bringing Paimon here, he just stared out at the snow. He didn't do anything to Paimon at all. In fact, Paimon didn't feel unsafe around him, and he didn't seem to have any ulterior motives. For all we know, he might have just ignored...
Please allow me to interrupt. Fatui and...
Wait, you've seriously never heard of the Fatui? Oh, they're like a...
Understood. Since they hold elite positions and serve their god directly, it stands to reason that they would conduct themselves with due decorum. I am inclined to agree with your assessment, Miss Paimon. I did not detect any ill will from the gentleman in question.
Sorry, I shouldn't have encouraged you to talk so much. Paimon, new plan. Let's get out of Snezhnaya for now. We can come back after the weather clears up and you're all better. The jester mentioned that this snowstorm being the work of a monster is worse than most. Even if we made it to Snezhnograd, we'd still have to wait.
Oh, well, it's really nice of you to look out for Paimon, but... she doesn't want to hold you back. We were really psyched up for this journey when we first set off. Just think of all the burning questions we have. If we turn back now, who knows?
Further information is required regarding the monster situation. But objectively speaking, there is another, more pressing issue at hand. At this point, we have traveled a significant distance into the blizzard. Were we to turn back now, the road would be extremely treacherous. If, however, we continue onward, there may be a better solution. Do you remember what I said as we neared this location? I told you that this is a train station. We can break through the blizzard and forge ahead by driving a train. That is the Snezhnayan way. There is a small town up ahead, which would be the perfect place for Miss Paimon to rest and recover.
Paimon thinks Goggles here makes a great point. Oh, come on. Don't worry. Think of all the traveling we've done so far.
Affirmative. Should you ever need my assistance during... Otherwise, I will remain silent to avoid causing any unnecessary... Please confirm when you are ready to depart. Heading north from here, we will soon arrive at... Wait, there's an error message.
What exactly?
Brace for impact, friends! Preparing to enter in How strange. Not all.
Yeah.
My sincere apologies for putting you in danger. I'm afraid I'm agreed. A consequence of outdated railroad data. The discrepancies between the old data and present reality are far greater than I anticipated. Fortunately, our crash landing has at least brought us much closer.
Your data had better be right.
I can assure you, it certainly is. It seems our ill-fated train ride was a blessing in disguise. Rest assured that I will take user preferences into account next time I plan a route.
Cryostorm!
Excuse me? Is there an inn nearby?
I'm sorry, but they've all closed.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. We're looking for a place to stay.
I can't even afford to warm my own house, let alone run a business.
Excuse us. Is there anywhere we can stay around these parts?
I'm afraid not. You'll have to try your luck somewhere else.
All we can do is wait for the next shipment of Kresnik Crystal. Hi there. Do you know if there are any inns still taking...
Doubt it. They're probably all closed. No one has enough Kresnik Crystal to heat their own homes, let alone a business. I clocked you a while back. You adventurers or something? We don't get...
Why is that? Because of this...
In part. But the bigger reason's Project Stuja. Since it's Her Majesty's will, we have to put up with... Oh, sorry. I assumed it was common knowledge by now. Basically, the Tsaritsa is planning something big, even if they used all the surplus Kresnik Crystal in Snezhnaya. So, the VII passed a resolution requiring all factories and households to reduce their...
Bitter cold. So, like...
Pretty much. When you're broke, you scrimp and save. When it's cold, you huddle together for warmth. There's always a way to... Trouble is, if you stretch someone out like an elastic band for too...
Can you please explain to me why the price of Kresnik Crystal has gone up by 1/3 again? You only come here twice a month. This won't even last us a week.
The supply and pricing of Kresnik Crystal are based on current production volumes. We VII are only responsible for delivery and security. I'm not in a position...
Oh, so our lives mean nothing to you? How can you expect anyone to survive a single night in this...
Since you insist on making me repeat myself every single visit, I will remind you again.
What market? Nobody else is selling! And when they do, they charge...
Which is why the Snezhnograd VII passed a resolution to support border communities. So if you're here just to argue, move aside and let the next
You...
All right, everyone, let's calm down for a second. A few words, if I may. We all know how cold it is. And the more it snows, the harder life gets.
But Liaison Shishkin, there's clearly something wrong with this quota. I have a family in Marepasaku.
Oh, believe you me, I had the same reaction when I first saw the numbers. Still, you must understand that calculating these energy quotas is a complicated balancing act. Our top priority must be to keep the largest Kresnik's torch burning As our VII comrades said, they are only responsible for delivering the goods. They need to keep at—
That's right. Our duty is to do things by the book.
Tell you what, listen. I know how anxious and upset everyone is. As a matter of fact, I was just discussing it. What we can do is open the lower combustion chamber of the Kresnik's torch to the public. You can come to me directly to register, and I will allocate time slots accordingly. I can't guarantee there'll be ample energy for household use. We can at least make—
Fine. I don't see any alternative.
So, this is Project Stuja in action, huh?
You were looking for an inn, right? For your, Fae friend?
Oh, Paimon's not a Fae. Just Paimon. She must—
I have a small place in Moroz. I don't stay there very often, though, so it's pretty basic. But if you're not picky, you're welcome to rest there for now.
Are you sure? Oh, that's really kind of you.
All right, then. This way. Hello, I'm Alosha. I'm a hunter. The
Time to roll. Oh, so cozy. Oh, wait. Paimon only introduced herself so far, didn't she? This?
Good to meet you. I'm Alosha. Most travelers find the Snezhnayan climate to be a shock to the system at first. But as long as you keep yourself warm, you should be fine. Still, you should keep an eye on your condition. When people are too quick to dismiss a cold, it can easily end up turning into something more serious.
Don't say that. Paimon's too young for chronic health issues.
They aren't in town right now, and they won't be back anytime soon. The train station has been closed ever since these power shortages began. I do a lot of hunting, so I spend most of my time exposed to the elements. But even the animals, nothing to do but sit tight in town until the weather improves. I get that you're in a hurry, but even if the station were open, What? Your own train? Wait, hold on. That train? The one that suddenly fell out of the sky and
Oh, we got lucky and found it in a cave. Oh, then our luck ran out and we had a—
Pretty crazy for a random find in the mountains. Well, as long as your train's good to roll, you might get to Snezhnagrad after all. I've been doing some digging recently, but to expose what's going on, I need to catch them in the—
Huh? Wait, a rabbit stole the crystal?
It's a figure of speech. Real Shishkin. Mr. Positive Attitude, let's all get along now, shall we?
Him? Really?
Huh? You're coming with?
Oh, okay then. Just give Paimon a second to get ready. All right. Guess there's no point pushing myself. Paimon will stay here and hold the fort then. Be careful, you
Oh yeah, there's one more introduction to do. Tagarin, get in here.
Oh, a doggy. Oh, angry doggy.
He likes to think he's above that kind of thing. He's my hunting part. Carrots aside, we'll need to stay completely undetected. First, we need to find a way into the train. Then, we get to Garin to catch a scent. What are you eating?
Oh, check it out! When you're all out of carrots, try turkey! Good doggy! Good doggy!
A fellow dog lover, huh?
Yup! And rabbit lover! Carrots are great too, you know.
Good to know. Eat up, Tagarin. We got a lot of work to do. Wait. Nice work, Tagarin. Come on, we'll go around. This way. We'll enter from the upper floor. There we go. A freight list. Straight from the VII. So Shish looks as new as the day it was printed. I guess no one bothers reading these unless they have ulterior motive. Yeah, this is all we need. Come on, let's get out of here. Then go track down the crystal. Tagarin's a keen hunter, and catching rabbits is his specialty. But if he picks up the scent of Cristal somewhere and there's no stove around, that's how we know something's up. This must be the rabbit's warren, sure enough. There's a tunnel. You stay here and keep watch. I'm gonna take a look inside.
Thanks for looking out for us.
No need to thank me. It's my pleasure. Sure is, let's grit our teeth until the blizzard passes. These days of hardship will be over soon.
Maybe for everyone else, Liaison Shishkin, but for you, the hard times have only just begun.
Huh? Who are you? What's the matter?
I just had a question for you. Why, when times are as tough as this, would someone hoard more Kresnik Cristal than all the crates here are from the most recent shipment, but they weren't brought here for sale. Instead, they were secretly stashed away. Would you be able to shed any light on the situation, Mr. Shishkin?
Me? Why, I have no idea.
This godsend was found in a cellar adjacent to your residence following a tip from Mr. Alosha. And this is only a fraction of what we found down there. We're still taking a full inventory. The official figures will be finalized shortly. I've always been grateful for your efforts to mediate between us and the townspeople of Moroz. But now, Mr. Shishkin, it appears you were the source of the conflict all along.
How could you do this?
We trusted you to have our backs. You've been lying to us this whole time?
Hey, I owe you all an apology. This isn't who I am. Please believe me, this was a one-time mistake that we all know how difficult life has been since Project Stuja came into force. Energy is an increasingly... I grew up in Alatir, a small village with no train station. Deliveries of Kresnik Cristal have ceased there entirely. If nothing is, you know as well as I do how downright impossible it is to buy Cristal these days. The thought of my... I watched as energy grew scarcer by the week, all the while knowing that their lives were at risk. Then one day, I looked... Looks like I'm just not cut out to be a criminal. I'm so sorry. Once the VII have finished their... I have the official Snezhnayan quotas here. Anyone who has already purchased energy, please make your way over here to correct your transactions. I'll make a batch purchase of Cristal worth 3 months' salary for you all to use free of charge.
You don't have to go that far.
Yeah, owning up to your mistake is enough for me. You've done plenty of good.
Drop the act. You claim this was a...
Reporting in, sir. We've conducted a full search of the mayor's house. As expected, we found many crates full of Cristal. Half of...
This wasn't your first time at all. You've been colluding with the mayor of Moroz for a long time now. The train station's currently out of service, but it does open for a short window every time there's an energy delivery. And every time a train pulls in, you're there on site. The mayor handpicks said workers. Per his instructions, they transport the Cristal by tunnel at night to the mayor's house, and he sells it out of town. But since he can't get the goods out of town by train, he had to arrange an...
Wait, the mayor's involved in this too?
Preposterous. What proof do you have of any of this?
Basic math. I've spent a lot of time lately counting carriages as the snowstorm...
Counting carriages? What?
The energy consumed by a train depends on its total weight. And since energy is a limited resource right now, it's fair to assume that every carriage is packed full. So, if we take the energy required for add the sales figures you provided, then compare that figure to the train's theory, the numbers never match. It's always off by 1 or 2 carriages worth. This time, you said it.
You mean to tell me that you sat around outside?
I'm a hunter. I have 2 options: hunt or starve.
Well, I've heard enough. The evidence speaks for itself. Take Shishkin and the mayor into custody and escort them back to Snezhnograd.
You cocky little brat! Ruining my business!
Yeah, something felt off, so I just followed my gut. Math isn't my strong suit, though. I'm lucky my dad made me—
Thank you for your assistance. Shishkin was quite the cunning criminal, as I'm sure you can tell. He did
a wolf in sheep's clothing. He had—
Even with that sob story he fed us, he was probably trying to keep the mayor out of it, not just mask his own motives. Without the compelling case you put together, even I might have fallen for it. Alosha, was it? Tell me, are you really a hunter?
We can go find some wild animals if you want. I'll fire off a couple of—
I didn't mean to cast suspicion on your identity. It's just, well, I'm sure you've heard of the Rokot. Recently, they've been recruiting people with your kind of talent. They hide in plain sight under false identities, working against Project Stuzha, sometimes directly opposing the Tsaritsa herself. They aren't a violent organization, and their goal is to improve the lives of the common folk. But still, as a member of the VII, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't keep tabs on them.
First I've heard of this. I don't really keep up with what goes on in the city. All I know is, people who don't mind their own business in the city end up paranoid about everything. As for me, I just couldn't stand Shishkin. I'm from Alatir myself, and I can tell you, nobody's lived there in years. Why would an abandoned village need Crystal? Of course, no one really cares about the fate of that place. I'm guessing today is the first you've heard of it.
I see. It does sound quite tragic. Really. Well, thanks again for your assistance. I will report this incident to Snezhnograd. The VII will take over energy distribution until new officials are appointed. We'll also ensure that the train station resumes normal service as soon as possible. Looks like it's my turn to brush up on math now. I never liked it as a kid either.
Don't mention it. Isn't the soldier— Excuse me. I'll take a share of Kresnik Crystal. I need to take a detour before— There's someone I have to deliver this crystal to. All geared up.
Off we go!
Hang tight for a moment. This old lady, she doesn't really know who's who anymore.
grandson. It's so cold today.
Ma'am, it's me.
Alosha? Alosha?
You know me. I came by earlier today. Cleaned the ashes out of your stove, gave you some warmer bedding, and washed your back.
I'm sorry, I don't remember. Now, how often do I get to see my grandson?
It's okay. You just rest. I'm fine.
Oh, you. It's nice to come and visit your old granny once in a while, isn't it? Sit down, come on, take...
Please, don't get up on my account. You need to rest. Where's the fruit?
Right under the basket by the door. Or maybe it was on the bedside cabinet. Well, grandson dear, do you like it?
Very much, ma'am. It's still...
Good, good. Wonderful.
You don't need to save any more for me next time, all right? Fresh fruit is hard to come by at...
Oh, I don't need it. I'm fine. But if you like it...
Some kind soul must have given these to her. But she always saves the nicer things for special occasions. I met her at the market back before her health began declining. She was a lovely old lady. We're from the same hometown. Not many people have heard of Alatir. And if they have, it's usually for all the wrong reason. Now that it's an abandoned village, it's rare to find anyone who shares fond memories of our home. I first learned of Stratomoros's energy supply problems from a passing comment in one of her letters. Then, after her health went downhill, I started visiting more often to check in on. The town's been in decline for a while now. But because of her memory problems, she thinks of it as the bustling, prosperous Stratomoros still in its heyday. That said, I kinda appreciate her optimism. There's not much of it going around in this world of ice and snow. It's fine. Everyone grows old. In Snezhnaya, some people believe that in your final moments, you'll sense a familiar presence by your side. You turn to look at them, but their face is blurry. So you focus hard, trying to make out who it is. And when you finally see their face, the Grim Reaper reaches out and takes your life. She still calls me grandson, though. So at least I'm not a blurry face in her world just yet. Come on, let's get back and see how Paimon's doing.
Adventure time!
Hurry up, Grassa! Time to roll!
Paimon, we're back. Are you feeling any better?
Yep. Paimon's not cold anymore. But she's still a little dizzy. But Paimon's sure she'll be fine.
Her complexion's looking much better. Let's keep an eye on her.
Sure. But enough about that. How did everything go on your end?
I'll explain. It's a bit of a long story.
Jeez. You guys got pretty busy. So, you that the train station will open?
Yeah. Well, enough to survive at least. Don't know. The goal of Project Stuja is to gather energy for the Tsaritsa. The thing is, we were told that the project would only last for 6 months. But time...
Extending it? Does that mean that...
That's what everyone suspects. In principle, any proposed extension need... But even though opposition has been growing, any detractors end up caving in to political pressure from... He's the chair of the Snezhnegrad VII and a key figure in the voting process.
How come the Fatui are picking on ordinary people?
I don't see it like that. Fundamentally, the Fatui will... But that doesn't mean they don't care about the plight of the common folk. The only reason Sertomero still receives... Then there's the Fatui soldiers providing support in every corner of the nation. Even the Northland Bank... It's just that the rich and powerful in their fancy palaces live in a completely different world. Yeah, well, even though we all believe in Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, regular folk don't have an easy way of getting their voices heard in Snezhnegrad. While the rich and... The Rokad provides the disaffected with false identities and an outlet to vent their frustration. Of course, an organization like that exists in a gray area. The moment the VII... But so far, they've been doing their best to help the common folk. Like us, don't you mean? You didn't hesitate to join in.
That's because we're adventurers.
Sounds like we're going to get along. So, what's your business in Snezhnegrad?
I want to meet the Tsaritsa. It's complicated. I've had run-ins with her ultimate goal, what the Gnosis mean in all of this. Since I've made it this far in my journey, I have to find the truth, whatever it takes.
Wait, so... No way. Are you who I think you are?
Sounds like you've heard of us then. We're getting more famous by the day.
I didn't realize I was in the company of giants. Honestly, we're all as curious as you are about what the Tsaritsa's planning. But getting in the same room as her won't be easy. The common folk aren't permitted to meet her at the best of times. And right now, she's probably not... Yeah, so you've heard of it. A wild, unpredictable monster with the... It also absorbs everything around it into its body. So it's growing constant. Luckily, as it grew, it became increasingly less mobile. I'm sure that Tsaritsa and her personal guard, the Druzhna, won't have any trouble defeating. Suffice to say, you won't be seeing her anytime soon. You'll have to wait. Fair. Well, the Fatui will be taking over. Once it's open, we can see about getting your train to...
Whoa! That's got it.
The Fatui aren't exactly spotless in this whole mess. Plus, we help them out. As far as I know, all the paperwork is dealt with upon manufacture. Having a train makes everything much easier. We'll reach Snezhnegrad in no time. I know a good doctor in the city. I'll introduce you when we get there.
Oh, thanks so much. Let's get a good night.
There's a lot that goes into managing an orchard. Watering, weeding, fertilizing the soil, making sure the temperature is right. Most important. You have to keep the fruit in a good mood. Time to roll!
Drive carefully, all right? You don't want to end up in this situation again. Also, I don't think I've seen a train like this before. Not a fan of small talk. All right, all the track switching is automated. So, we'll leave you to examine the train's conditions yourselves. Fingers crossed.
Shouldn't be a problem. Thanks for everything.
All right then. Have a safe journey. And make sure...
Running late again.
illumination settings have been applied. Let's give this thing a final once-over.
Affirmative. Running vehicle
What's this?
Engine, green. Wheels, green. Frame, minor diagnostics complete.
Neat! Huh. Paimons!
I've lived in Snezhnaya my whole life, and I've never heard of an
Strictly speaking, I wasn't designed purely to drive trains, though all configurations are complete.
Away we go! Ooh, nope. Huh? What's going on?
Oh no.
What is this place? Traveler, are you okay? Paimon's still airborne.
Just our luck. Of all the things that could have gone wrong.
Alosha, you're Snezhnayan.
It's called the Shadow Realm. A place where no wind blows, no light shines, and no elemental energy. I've only seen it a few times before, and this is my first time inside. And the few who do make it back, they're never quite this.
Huh? Then, oh, maybe Goggles knows something. Goggles? Great.
Hold it together. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I heard a story once about the... Come on, let's explore.
Look at these Fatui. It's like they've lost their minds.
Their shadows have been devoured. They're no longer amongst the living. I can't channel elemental energy here, but I have a few gadgets that still work.
Wait, what's that blue thing? Is that...
Guess we'd better find a way over.
Let's hammer this out.
This is the last one.
What do we do next?
Play it by ear.
Goggles!
Hello. I am glad to see the three of you safe and...
For now, at least. But things...
Correct. We are now inside what is known as the Shadow Realm. The time and space hold no meaning here. It intersects with the world of the Light Realm only rare. We must leave this place before it sinks back down into the depths once more.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Yes. In fact, the very purpose of my creation was likely to... It appears that I have marked the exit to the Shadow Realm for your convenience. In addition, I have prepared some equipment to aid. It may well be one activation code. We will...
Whoa!
Now go. Arm yourselves with weapons.
Is this a...
In the Shadow Realm, where humans cannot channel the Let's go. When you encounter small obstacles, you can simply clamber over them. Since elemental energy is unavailable in the... You can slide to navigate through low, narrow tunnels. Obstruction ahead. You may be able to use the explosives nearby. Shoot the explosives to detonate them and clear the path. For long-range targets, try using the scope to line up your shot. Many hostile units. I suggest...
Defenses have been breached!
More enemies detected. Try attacking with the newly unlocked Assault function.
Light him up!
Aim at the freeze mark and pull the trigger to move using the rope.
Reload! Switch mode! Mind the rhythm!
Where's the...
Some supply points can restore a small amount of stamina. Press on. You should be able to use the Prime Ice construct left here to cover long distances. I recommend using this grappling gun. If you detach the connected hook...
Okay? So... Charge!
Nice.
Back in business.
Press the advantage! Losing ground! Over.
Sprint at the prime ice launcher to reach high places with ease.
Gotta recharge.
Usable munitions detected. Frag crystal.
Taking cover! Taking cover!
Change of tactics. Change of tactics.
Not good.
It's over. Where's the back?
Shift your center of gravity and slide down.
How much longer is this gonna take?
The exit is right ahead. We are very close now. However,
It's like they're trying to keep us trapped here. That platform and the carriages are swarming with undead Fatui. Guess we gotta storm through.
Light him up.
you may find switching to assault mode makes your attacks more effective.
Looks like the Shadow Realm is about to sink back down and—
The exit is—
You mean this weird...
No time to think. We just gotta go for it. I can't believe the Shadow Realm manifested right on the railroad track. Lucky we made it out. All thanks to you and that—
Ah, so you have heard of—
Yeah, he came up a whole bunch in Nakrai.
Make no mistake, it was a team effort. For as Alosha said, it is highly unusual for—
Oh, it's hope not. If any...
The Shadow Realm can appear anywhere, not just on the rail. Now, if you wish to further calibrate and upgrade your— Please take a moment to catch your breath while I repair—
Oh, thanks, Goggles.
Yes, of course. And just—
Let's get some fresh air while the Eye of Grey—
Yeah, sure. here for a treat? Huh? So much for repair!
My plan was to restore the train.
Huh. Didn't know.
According to my calculations,
Hyperborea, huh?
Ow! Where did that come from? We really had to build the railroad over a canyon, huh?
You might want to avoid looking down if you're afraid of heights.
No, it's not that. Paimon's just praying that we don't have yet another accident. That mountain is breathtaking. Reminds Paimon of Dragonspine.
They say this mountain's the domain of a Snegovic lord. A lot of the Snegovic retreated there to live in seclusion, so it's a pretty mysterious place. You hear all kinds of stories. Even the residents of the nearby town of Svietlo-Lidovka steer clear of the summit, and they make a living off of harvesting prime ice. Look, Snezhnograd's just up ahead. Here we are. Welcome to Snezhnograd train station, the biggest transport hub in the nation.
Wow! It's so majestic! Just flying from one side to the other would probably leave Paimon out of breath!
It's built for maximum efficiency, but yes, transferring trains here can be a little tiring. In the future, you can use this train station to travel anywhere you want in Snezhnaya. For now, though, come with me. Let's get Paimon checked out. This way. There's a lift car that goes straight to Sapoliarny.
Look! They have really funny-looking heads! And those ones are about the same height as Paimon! But it looks like they can't fly!
Those would be Volkudlak and Domovoy. You'll also see the winged Vila and the snowborn Snegovic amongst others.
No wonder! We'd heard that Snezhnaya used to be the realm of the Fae. Paimon can really see it now.
To the left is the Market of Zolny. They sell everything there. You can often find some nifty little trinkets. To the right, you'll see the Korolievsky Theater in the distance.
Look at that! Incredible! Wow! Snezhnegrad is stunning! Seeing it with our own eyes makes all the trouble we went through to get here worth it!
I found it pretty stunning when I first came here too. But I soon found out that stunningly beautiful means stunningly expensive. The prices here are crazy. I'm just a small-time hunter, so Zolny is where I spend most of my time. This way will take us to Podvorier Restaurant. They offer food and lodging there, so you can get settled in while I fetch the doctor.
Is that gonna be stunningly expensive too?
Yeah, I mean, there are places to stay in Zolny, but I highly doubt they'd meet your standards. Most of the stoves are out of crystal, the windows are drafty, and at night, four-legged roommates come out to play, sharpening their claws on the roof beams and floorboards.
Yep, no way! Not a chance Paimon's staying anywhere like that. Maybe we can split the cost of the room between us? Fine then. It's your treat. Paimon will save her money for buying a nice little cake. Don't worry, you'll get some too.
I'm glad to see you've perked up. If you find yourselves in the mood for some sightseeing later, there's a few places around here worth seeing. This way leads to Sapoliarny Palace, which serves as the Tsaritsa's audience chamber and also her personal quarters. The adjacent block is kind of a city in its own right. That's Glupov, the headquarters of the Fatui. Inside, there's a munitions factory known as the Armory Palace, producing a constant supply of all kinds of equipment for the Fatui. A lot of important research happens there too. And over there is the Snezhnegrad Vecha, where all the big shots meet regularly to make policy decisions. These places are best admired from a distance. I'm sure I don't need to explain why.
Yeah, they probably have super strict security. We're not looking for trouble right now.
The downtown area is near the center of Sapoliarny. That's where you'll find the restaurants, bookstores, and gift shops. Another place of interest is the Northland Bank, which is over this way. Oh, and I'm sure you'll want to make contact with the Adventurers Guild at some point, right? That's right here.
Ooh, speaking of adventuring, we use alchemy quite a lot. Do you know where we can find a crafting bench?
No one practices alchemy at Snezhnegrad, I'm afraid. Apparently there's some historical reason for it.
Oh, we'll just have to use the one on the train then. Kinda inconvenient. Wait, how come there's one on the train if that's Snezhnayan too?
Yeah, I don't know. Not my area of expertise. Still, I wouldn't say the absence of alchemy makes life here any less convenient. Anyway... Finally, there's Zolny in that direction. It's mostly residential buildings and factories, but there's a few shops too. Worth a look around if you're interested. That's about it. You guys go ahead and get checked in while I track down my doctor friend.
Sounds good. Thanks for all the recommendations. It'll be good to get out of the cold.
Podvorier restaurant is right this way.
Running late again.
Looks like you get what you pay for, huh? Paimon likes this room a lot. Yeah! Much better if this were anywhere else. But you're right. A lot happened, obviously. A million more a question is. Sure was. And so far, we've learned that in addition to the 7 Gnosis, but we won't get to see her anytime soon. Alosha said that she went east to fight that big monster. It must be a pretty powerful one if it can blanket the whole of Snezhnaya in a snowstorm this awful. To be honest, what we're really lacking right now is information. The kind of information that only the higher-ups in the government would know. Not word on the street type of info. Paimon can think of a few people who might be able to help us. But... Right! And when we left Nocrai, Sandrone specifically left a message reminding us which side we're... So... It's unlikely they'd tell us anything confidential about the Tsaritsas' grand plan. Yeah, fair point. Besides, that Glupov place is right nearby. We've got nothing to lose. There's gotta be someone there willing to talk to us, right? Maybe Arlecchino or Sandrone? Or possibly Tartaglia. But it's unlikely we could sweet-talk Arlecchino. Let alone Sandrone. She basically told us to stay in her lane already. Yeah, the last time was all the way back in Fontaine, right? Too bad we missed him in Nocrai. Apparently...
Hello. Is there a traveler and Paimon in there?
That's Alosha! Come in!
Hello, I'm Dr. Luneva. Alosha mentioned that one of you is feeling a little under the weather. I see. So you're my patient today, yes? And you're, Faye, I presume?
Good question. Paimon's not too sure either, but she's definitely not the same kind of Fae as the ones we saw.
Not exactly. It's just, I'm used to treating human patients. Fae tend to be far more resilient than even... But don't worry, I do have some experience treating Fae. I've even diagnosed plenty of cat...
It'll be fine. Paimon's basically the same as a human, right? We're no different when it comes down to it, are we? That's just because Paimon knows how to eat.
Now, please take a seat. Okay, vital signs are good. Test results are all within normal ranges. I can give you some medicine to tide you over. But as long as you rest properly for the next couple of days, if you find yourself with a persistent low-grade fever, or if your symptoms don't improve...
Sounds like there's no cause for alarm.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome. Just doing my job.
Take care. You heard the doctor. Best you rest up here for a couple days. No...
All right, then. Guess we've got no choice.
I have to get back to it. If you need anything else from the doctor or me, go to the Hunter Trade... Hey, no big deal. You saved my life in the Shadow Realm.
All right. Time to find Child and see what he can tell me.
Hold on. Please display your invitation letter or permit. Glupov does not accept meeting requests without a prior appointment. You'll have to apply per the advertised booking process and wait until your invitation. Might I ask who you're hoping to visit? Another one who thinks the rules don't apply to them. I don't understand. But I have to go through the motions for protocol's sake. Wait a moment. I'll pass on your message. If Child is unavailable, you'll have to go. Lord Child is a busy man. He's probably not in Glupov at the present. If I were you, I'd cut your losses. No point, even if you two are old friends as you claim. Please understand that the Fatui Harbingers are often busy with their... Next time, stick to the rules. You'll make life easier for both of us, Greetings, Lady Marionette.
I'll take care of our guest here. It's her first time in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that she doesn't know the rules yet. I trust no choice words have been exchanged. No misunderstandings I should be aware of.
No, Lady Marionette. No incidents to report. Whew, that was a close call. Good thing I played it cool.
Is that right? Good to know. Under the weather? That's hard to imagine. I take it she's still adapting to the climate. Happens to a lot of people. It's even colder here than in Nodcry. All right then. Well, let me know if you run into any other problems. Why else? I was just about to sit down for some much-needed tea time when I heard that an old friend of Tartaglia, and as obnoxious as it may be to show up uninvited at Glupov, I couldn't help but take pity. Well, I felt our time working together in Nodcry warranted some courtesy. Unfortunately, I can't invite you inside either. The rules of Glupov would, on the plus side, Snezhnograd actually has some class. Unlike Nasha Town. Torchlight Books has a very nice selection of teas and cakes, so we can catch your treat, of course. Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. That's why. Running late again. Time to roll. I've ordered for the both of us. No objections, I assume. I'm sure you trust my taste. Okay, let's get down to business. I'm guessing you don't actually have any urgent business with Tartaglia, per se. Wanna take a guess? Of course you'd say that. You shouldn't underestimate Counselor Tartaglia, Ian. That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnograd VII by now. Well, he's busy. They'll be discussing yet another extension to Project Stuja. It's basically all anyone cares about in the VII these days. Yeah, he's more of the shoot first, ask questions later sort, isn't he? It all started with a very detailed letter that Capitano left for the jester, Piero, before leaving for Natlan. In that letter, he detailed the future arrangements for his subordinates. All of his key people were reassigned to Tartaglia. I guess he'd already prepared to leave us for good all the way back then. But Piero didn't reveal the contents of the letter until the events in Natlan had concluded. That was his reaction, too. Why me? With a bewildered look on his face. He'd always assumed Capitano looked down on him. He was a man who kept his thoughts to himself and but he occasionally brought Tartaglia along to my tea parties back in the day. So to the rest of us, it was clear that Capitano had quite a lot of respect for his young comrade. By the rest of us, I mean my tea party regulars. Arlecchino, Rosaline, and
Actually, not Columbina. She was probably oblivious to it. Anyway, then the Liyue situation happened. Normally, it took a lot to get under Capitano's skin, but that time he was furious. Basically, Tartaglia probably had the wrong idea about Capitano all along, right up until Piero revealed the letter he'd left behind. Capitano believed that despite Tartaglia's immaturity, he showed great potential. Plus, he possessed a kind of purity rarely seen among members of the... Yeah, it's one of the few things that I'd agree those two have in common. But there's one other reason why Capitano chose Tartaglia to assume command of his troops. He knew that after he was gone, several of the others would swoop in on his army like vultures. With the ones who stood to benefit the most being the rooster Pulcinella and Regrator Pantalone. Once they divided Capitano's troops between them, no one would be able to stop them. So, you can see why Capitano chose to hand that letter to Piero, right? Exactly. Piero also needed to back a harbinger as soon as possible. And all things considered, Tartaglia was the best. Even though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, he and Pantalone are ultimately not cut from the same cloth. I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably... His best course of action will be to distance himself from any shady business, while still maintaining friendly relations with Pantalone. But seeking Pulcinella's... What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea? Besides, none of this is confidential anyway. Ask any journalist out there. They'll give you all the lurid. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnograd Vecha. All the factional strife. Whether having a voice in the Vecha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector, and Tartaglia represents the Fatui soldiers. Personally, I have no interest in political jousting. But since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command, I have to make their voices heard. Then there's Pulcinella, the linchpin of the Vecha. He represents politics itself. Everything involves him, so nothing can bypass him. Any issue that comes up, he knows how to mediate. That's what the Tsaritsa values most.
I'm starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it. A complex web of interests connects all parties involved. And the Tsaritsa sitting at the top adds another layer.
All right, I'm done carrying this conversation. Time for you to answer a question of mine. You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. So why was Tartaglia the first person you asked to see and not me? Huh? Jealous? As if. Wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. Columbina passed on my message to you before you... I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on. Is that actually why you didn't ask for me? Because you took... Fair enough. It's not your fault. I blame all these politicians I've been hanging around with lately. Always beating about the bush when they talk. Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay? Little things like this are no problem.
Lady Marionette.
What now? Can't you see I'm on my break? Whatever it is...
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm afraid it's an emergency.
Isn't it always? I've told you before. Fixing the tracks and transporting ice blocks...
The equipment in Svietlo-Laidovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is a buildup. The supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a nearby ice cave. Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation. But we're still facing a severe manpower shortage.
I guess that's it then. Our tea party will have to end here. I'm the only engineer. Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that? Nice of you to return the favor. I'll have a couple of people look after Paimon. And honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Then let's go. You, take 2 people to Podvorier restaurant. Find her room and watch it like a... If anything happens to Paimon, you'll be answering to me.
Yes, Lady Marionette.
They weren't exaggerating. This is really dangerous. It's a good thing only one of them broke. From what I've been told, most of the trapped miners are over in that direction. Yeah, you do that while I check the rest of the equipment. I'll evacuate the people around here as I go. Meet me back here as soon as you're done.
I have to be getting close.
Don't go any further. It's too dangerous here. There's a highly aggressive monster on the prowl. Ah, I see. You're the backup from Snezhnegrad. Well, I'm Odette.
Ah, so this is Odette. She was the first member of the VII on the scene.
There are 5 people trapped in the cave. Monster type is unknown, and so is... Let's go. Every second counts. Careful. Something's moving. This must be the monster's shadow. Looks like a tough opponent. Begin. Waltz of the snowflakes.
Stay back!
Witness the snow swan's grace. I see them. They're right behind the monster. The monster seems very agitated. It could attack at any moment. Let's make the first move. Together. Harada. Crystalline Adagio. Shadow me. Pirouette.
Thank you for saving us. Wait up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You should be safe now. Follow...
Thank you.
I've searched the area. Pretty sure Yeah, but with us here, it won't be coming back anytime soon. It may be small, but don't be fooled. It's a ferocious beast. It's lucky we got here when we did. The trapped miners have been successfully evacuated. Time for us to leave.
Wait, this place... There's...
What is that?
I don't know. It's back?
Guess it has family. This way. Run!
Out of here.
Benny's adventure. Oh.
Everyone's accounted for. We managed to rescue them all. We also placed a sign at the entrance to the cave, warning people to stay away. You really held your own today. I still don't know your name. Don't think I've seen you before. I'll remember the name. All right then. See you around. Hello, Lady Marionette.
I hear the rescue operation was a great success. I knew I could count on you. What brings you here, Odette? Here for a performance?
No, a VII mission. I happened to be nearby and heard the crash.
She hasn't introduced herself then. Odette is the prima ballerina of Snezhnograd. She's quite the celebrity. If you ever hear people mention the two crowning jewels of the Korolievsky troupe, they're talking about Odette and the prima donna, Vodianitsa. On top of that, Odette's also a rising VII star. It's looking likely she'll inherit the title of the Fair Lady. She learned all her combat skills from Rosaline herself. Used to be one of her most valued subordinates, too.
You flatter me, Lady Marionette.
If she's Rosaline's protege, that makes me...
How's progress on your end, Lady Marionette?
Equally successful. I finished reinforcing all the equipment. Took me even if the heavy snowfall summoned by that monster lasts for another 3 months straight, this equipment won't give way. All right, now that we're done here, it's time to get out of this blizzard. Sure, but Snezhnograd will send someone to investigate and draw up a relief plan. Ugh, And I guess I'll have to write the end. First, Pantalone needs to approve the budget. Then Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan. Once they've argued it out, that's the rough process anyway. Could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months, depending on how. Yup, nothing we can do about it. There's a whole stack of incident reports like this back at the office.
The snow has eased a little for now, but there's no telling when that will change with that monster still at large. Fuel for heating is in short supply, and relief is weeks away. There's no immediate threat to life, but still, it just feels like there should be a better way.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Let's get back to Snezhnograd. When did you get a new sword? Well, if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia, Mr. Big Shot himself.
Go easy on me, all right? I'm still recovering from the interrogation the real Big Shots put me through. Hey, comrade, it's been too long. I heard you came looking for me earlier. Nice, good to see you too, Odette. I'm guessing you guys just got back from Sviatlo-Laidovka. How'd it go? Crisis averted?
It went fine.
How about you? Any new developments?
Not really. Same as ever. Growing opposition to Project Stuzia, and the usual rebuttals are starting to ring hollow. The results of the mock vote were pretty dire. Pulcinella was fuming. I've never seen the old man so angry.
That's not good news. It takes a lot to rattle him.
Yeah, obviously if push comes to shove, there are ways to crack down on dissent. But...
Sorry, I have to ask something. This is going to sound blunt, but may I?
Huh? Of course, fire away.
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to figure out how to deal with opposition to Project Stuzia. But what exactly is this project's purpose? And how can it be?
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade. You sure don't mince your...
Excuse her? What does she mean? Refuse to stand up for ordinary...
Oh my gosh. How does she dare speak to the Harbingers?
Are you interrogating us now?
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. I think I understand where she's coming from. If I could, I'd take your side right now. In fact, my position's very similar to yours. I've only held back on casting a dissenting vote in the VII because the Tsaritsa would never let me get away with it. Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces, so I do what I can to make their voices heard. Most of them are... I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from Arepasak myself. Things are... The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya, but she's thinking long-term. I don't doubt that from where you're standing, Project Stuzia seems to be creating all sorts of issues for everyone. But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, these are sacrifices worth making. Sounds cold, I know. But I promise it's not as black and white as it seems. Maybe Sandrone and I can't oppose Project Stuzia outright, but we're constantly raising our concerns in VII meetings. And even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. We're trying everything we can think of, and so is Pulcinella. I respect Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, and trust her decisions. But at the end of the day, I'm still just a normal guy who cares deeply about my homeland. And my family, who all live here. There's no way I would ever abandon them.
As contentious as things can get within the VII, there's no selfishness or malice behind it. Everyone wants to get through this period as smoothly as possible. The issue is that there's no way of pleasing everyone under the present circumstances. Most of the time, we're trying to decide on the lesser of two evils, which obviously isn't a great look. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa. No one's got their head in the sand here. We're all well aware of the way things are. We're just doing our best to make it work.
In fairness to Sandrone, she rushed to Svietlo Laidovka's aid the moment she heard that people were in danger. And even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight, is clearly doing his best to rise to the demands of his new role as counselor.
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Look, I know how untenable the Tsaritsa's position looks if you don't understand her motives. Maybe you've heard already, but she's currently leading her army on a campaign to the east to defeat the monster that's been causing these brutal blizzards. Striking that monster down will be a significant step in dealing with the present energy crisis. As laser-focused as she is on realizing her lifelong ambitions, she's still putting time and energy into taking down this powerful monster. To me, that says a lot. If she thought Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, why would she waste her time on something like this? Thanks. I meant every word I said, though. I wasn't just trying to placate you. I've already done more than enough diplomacy for one day.
I still think this adventurer raises a very important point. Our two harbingers have made their positions very clear. But there are many others in the VII who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience. I think it's a very valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind, despite the risk of offending powerful figures.
You can say that again. I highly doubt we'd feel the need to explain ourselves so much if we didn't know you so well.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background? How is it that you can converse so openly with two harbingers?
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Easier said than done. I like to think I'm not the kind of person who goes around busting open people's old wounds.
I've only learned her name so far, and no details of her experiences. Is something wrong?
Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosaline?
No, it's just... all right. I guess there's no getting around it. This is the world-renowned traveler who helped resolve the storm terror threat in Mondstadt, cleaned up after the mess I made in Liyue, and then went to Inazuma, where there was a duel before the throne, in which the traveler defeated Rosaline.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you two would be seeing much of each other, so I figured it wasn't worth bringing up.
It's fine. It was a long time ago. It's fine. Sorry. I just remembered that we have a rehearsal coming up. Please excuse me. I should get going.
I've mentioned this to you before, remember? She was Rosaline's most valued subordinate. But they didn't actually get along. Not that Rosaline was really the type of person to make friends, but death has a way of resolving a lot of conflicts.
Don't let it weigh on you. Like she said, it was a long time ago. It's in the past now. Odette has a very different personality from Rosaline. Give her some time. I'm sure she'll work through it. Oh, by the way, where's Paimon? It's not like her to hide away.
She hasn't been feeling well, so she's resting at Podvorier restaurant. I got a couple of my people to look after her while we were gone.
Oh, right. Sorry to hear that. Poor thing. Reminds me of when Tonya was little. She really felt I felt so bad for her seeing her lying in bed, coughing. She was so mature for her age, though. Whenever someone came to visit her, she'd greet them with a smile and would never complain. I'm sure Paimon's a good kid too. You're a little short on manpower, right? Let me have a couple of my people take over for yours. I'll send my most capable and reliable.
Well, that would be great. Your people are more qualified.
Hey, don't mention it. I'm sure you have things to do. Hopefully this takes a load off your mind. So no more accusing me of not being on your side, all right?
Already? That was quick.
I'm afraid I can't help you there. Our director's recent movements are confidential. Even we're not in the loop. If you hadn't told me, I never would have known he'd gone south. I assumed he'd been in Glupov this whole time. Well, I guess I'd better go sort out Paimon's security situation. I have some other work to catch up on at Glupov.
Me too. I have an incident report to write up. Let's leave it there for now.
I guess everyone's in a difficult position. But Tartaglia's right. I have things to do, to start with. I should go ask...
Hurry up, Grassa!
How strange. This sword seems to be vibrating of its... It's a very faint vibration, but it's getting stronger as I get closer to the statue of the Seven. Does this sword have some connection to the statue? But all it does is vibrate, even when I touch it. That place I got this sword from was definitely out of the ordinary. It worked! There really is... I don't really understand what just happened. I'll have to try the same thing again when I come across...
Time to roll!
Hello there. How can I help? Ah, sure thing. Give me a second. I'll go fetch them for you.
It's a familiar story. I've had similar experiences. Although Snezhnegrad doesn't deliberately delay or withhold relief, those first few days of waiting for help are always the hardest. It's a fundamental contradiction. If emergency relief can't be delivered in time, what's the point in even calling it emergency relief? Not necessarily. I think there's a good chance that Kresnik Crystal from Chateau Moroz will start flowing into the market. When we resolve Chateau Moroz's energy issue, it's like we open the floodgates. A huge backlog of Crystal is now available to the townspeople. There's no way they can use it up at once. A lot of them will probably stockpile it and slowly work their way through. Probably a good idea, since energy prices are only going to keep rising. Exactly. At the current prices, selling Crystal is an easy way for an ordinary person to make a fortune. Hey boss, how much do I have left in my account?
One second, let me check. So, you're planning on buying the Crystal out of your own pocket?
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough, so I'll chip in a little extra and buy as much as I can afford. No, it's fine. You're new to Snezhnaya, and you have your own living expenses to worry about. Besides,
Here's your Mora. See what you can find at the market. But I doubt there'll be much Crystal left.
Yeah, well, can't hurt to take... Let's see... Huh?
Oh, Alosha, and... Hello.
I didn't realize you two knew each other. Yeah, I take on some odd jobs in the city to supplement my hunting income. Sometimes I work... When the weather's as bad as this, it's better for a hunter to adapt than to keep looking for game.
Yes, and we sometimes need extra help.
Wait, why is the atmosphere so awkward? I thought things went pretty smoothly and so, what brings you here, Miss...
No. After I got back to the theater, I couldn't stop thinking about the situation, so I decided I'd come here and see if there's anything I can do. You too, I presume. I suppose that's why I didn't feel comfortable expressing my true opinions in front of the Harbingers. Not least because ordinary Fatui like me, without knowing the full picture, I can't make sense of it. And at some point, if things aren't making sense to me...
So many people feel the same way. They wish they could do something, but all kinds of reservations hold them back. Explains why groups like the Rogue...
Yes. Well, that's one option. But there are risks to consider with organizations like that.
Right, because things can get out of hand, and it's hard to hold the right people accountable when they do.
Sandrone said Odette was on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady. If so, she'll be able to find out what Project Stuja is really about. Still, it's probably a little soon to ask her about that.
What's on your mind? I think we can both agree that no matter which side you're on, it can't... I know what Rosaline did while she was abroad. You made the right decision, so no hard... So, what's your plan?
Oh, we were gonna buy some Crystal. I heard there's someone...
Funny. I had the same idea. In that case, let me pay. The real issue here is that government relief is behind schedule. Surely it makes more sense for...
True. It's a huge expense after all.
Let me see. I'll take it all, please. Right. Choose mission budget under the expense category, but be sure to specify emergency rescue operation in the description. Otherwise, the normal reimbursement limit will apply. Let's book this train. Regulations say that if we need to transport Kresnik Crystal during Project Stuja, extra carriages can be added 1 hour before departure. That should do it. The train will be escorted to its destination by Fatui guards.
This is my first time seeing you handle Fatui affairs, Miss Odette. It seems you're as skilled an officer as you are a dancer.
You flatter me. It's only because I've been doing both my whole life.
Anyway, I bet you've been non-stop today, am I right?
What's wrong? Who's
Her travel buddy hasn't been feeling well.
Sounds like she's important to you. I can't believe...
I've got nothing going on right now, so I'll join you. I want to see how she's...
May I come too? I have some candy that someone gave me back in Svietloslajdovka. Plus...
All right then. I still don't know what the deal is between these two, but at least the tension's...
Look at this stuff.
Hurry up, Brassa!
Hello. Sorry, but there's a sick...
What happened?
Oh. Please, excuse me. Are you the Ah, it's really you. Sorry for the... At the same time, we can't interfere with Podvoye restaurants. Besides myself, a few of my colleagues are stationed in and around...
I didn't expect such a high standard.
Well, Master Child handpicked us for this special assignment. Anyway, I won't keep you any longer.
Traveler! Alosha, you're back! Oh, hey! Who's our new friend?
Hi, I'm Odette. The Traveler and I crossed paths a few times.
Another friend from the Fatui, huh? You're practically a member yourself by this point. Paimon's definitely on the mend. We should be back to our usual travels in a few... It's just... Paimon's...
I have just the thing.
Whoa! What's this? Is that...
All keen observations. You're right. Whenever I've caught a cold in the past, I found I recover much more quickly if I place...
Awesome! Wow! It's so your name was Odette, right?
Looks like she's in pretty good spirits. That's a relief. Any progress with your investigation yet? No surprises there, I'm sure. They're not likely to let anything slip. The Rokad, huh? Let members of the Rokad keep their true identities hidden, but... I think there might be someone I can introduce you to. Leave it with me. Meet me at the Korolyevsky troop tomorrow.
Would anyone like a drink?
Paimon will have... enough with the secret chat, you two. Let's catch up properly in a minute. It'll be kinda like tabletop troop.
Ah, you made it. I've got some... It'll have to wait until after the show, though. Happy to stay and watch? Pleasure.
Please present yourself for a routine inspection in accordance with theater regulations. Thank you.
Is that good?
Okay, all done. Thank you for your co-op.
What's up? Everything okay? Snezhnaya's business and political leaders are always passing through here, so it makes sense that security's tight. Still, it's a little unusual to see the Fatui's Armory Palace Guard here. He's part of the Special Assignments Battalion, but I only ever see him supposedly a researcher, though he never seems to put much time in it, but that's not for us to worry about. Let's go. The show's about to start. What do you think? Pretty impressive, huh? Oh, the one in Fontaine? I hear it's iconic. Never seen it for myself, though. Here we are, just in time. Sorry, coming through.
If you're gonna show up late, keep your mouth shut.
What's his problem? Whatever. No point arguing with people.
Look, there she is. That's who I'm introducing you to later. She's the lead singer of the troupe, Vodyanitsa. This leads directly to the green room. They're expecting us. Vodyanitsa will be waiting for us there.
Running late again.
Hey there. Excuse me.
Can you believe it? I'm so—
Oh, it's you two.
Huh? You know each other? Oh, wait. Is this who you were telling me about? The one you met yesterday and couldn't stop thinking about?
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Why are you denying it? It was right before I went on that rant about the moody factory owner.
Might I ask what brings you two here?
Oh, I just brought her here to see the show. And when it finished, she was full of praise for Vodyanitsa, so I thought I'd try my luck, see if we could get the chance to chat for a bit. Maybe get an autograph?
You work here. You of all people ought to know that's against the rules.
Oh, what's the big deal? Come on, don't be shy. I can give you an autograph. You can take a—
Do as you please. I finished all my shows for the day. I'll leave you—
I wasn't making that stuff up, you know. Odette's just too— She thinks very highly of you. And so do I. You did—
We're good. Odette's out of earshot. I'll lock the door. Confidentiality, of course. The Rokad is very strict on that.
Whoa, Alosha! Not out loud! Not with an outs—
Relax. I've taken care of it.
The President's reply sent this morning.
Wait, so...
You told me last night that you wanted to get intel from the Rokot. Unfortunately, Rokot intel is but ever since you set foot in Snezhnaya, we've been working together. Everything about you is perfectly in alignment with what we're trying to achieve in the Rokot. I wrote a letter to the president explaining your situation, including just the right amount of detail. His approval, of course, it's still your decision whether you want to join or not. We'll respect your choice.
Well, assuming Odette was telling the truth and she didn't misjudge you, still, you gave me a real fright. I didn't know that's why... So, that stuff you said about admiring my performance, was that just Now you're talking. That's what...
Anyway, let me give you a quick rundown of how things work. Like I said, members typically don't meet in person or even know each other's identities. This helps us because of this, members are basically free to decide their methods without constraints.
After all, we don't have any ostensible contact with each other.
Beyond the freedom to choose how you operate, it's also your choice whether to act at all. In short, joining the Rokot in and of itself won't place any There's a code of conduct you can read if it interests you. But basically, as long as you don't
I tried reading it 5 or 6 times. Never made it all the way through.
Great. Then I'll go grab an official application.
Well, Alosha has this pet dog, you see. Dagaran took quite a liking to me, so then the Rokot was out on a mission one day, and
Just a coincidence, really. We didn't report it to the... my job. By the way, what were you complaining about just before?
everything did not go okay. That's why I was so mad. But he wouldn't take the bait. And then he started complaining. What did he expect? Everyone knows that if you want, I had to juggle things around just to get him a half-decent seat, hoping he would appreciate the gesture enough to share.
Yeah, meeting Chuganov in person has definitely been a disappointing experience. Oh, you probably don't know who we're talking about, do you? Chuganov was that older guy you were sitting next to today. I'm sure he didn't make a great first impression on you.
To the citizenry, he's a family man and a kind boss. But our interactions with him tell a very different story. It's one thing to ask for a favor, but he acts like it's his... Take the ticket situation, for instance. I've actually gotten him a private box, and not to mention that he's never paid for a single one of his tickets. And another thing, if he's such a big family man...
Calm down, Vodyanitsa. If you won't do... But first things first.
Looks like I'll need to make a... All right. Now that we're officially Rokot comrades, I can tell you. Recently, we've done some recon work at the Iskra manufacturing plant. All we need now is some direct evidence to present to the VII.
That way, the Kresny Crystal can be allocated to where...
I was hoping he might let slip during one of our chats, but I'm meeting another regular theater goer tonight. Mitya.
But Valeri's here too, and he's...
Don't you worry. He must know how to dodge Valeri. Mitya is a renowned energy expert. Although we can't get any direct evidence, the authorities should take someone like him seriously. So if he Also, we're not allowed on site, but he has clearance. Yeah, so that's the other thing we're trying... Still, I hear that Mitia is a bit of a chatterbox. So,
What do you think? Sound like something worth your...
okay. In that case, you guys find a seat somewhere. He's a huge fan, so I doubt he'll have his guard up around me. But you two need to be convincing.
Sure. Don't worry.
Perfect! You've sold me already.
Okay.
Everything.
Running late again. Time to roll.
We come here often, so we shouldn't stand out. Let's sit here. Now, it's up to Vodyanica. Let's see how the conversation...
Mr. Mitia! Over here!
Oh, sorry. I got a little held up on my way here. Now we have even... Go ahead and order some snacks and drinks. Whatever you like. Let me see.
You're really pressed for time today, huh?
No need. Getting to meet the lead singer is I've already had to decline your invitation several times because our schedules rarely align. If I don't grab this chance...
Well, it's very kind of you to make time just for me.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. But Snezhnaya's full of weird and wonderful things like that, so people tend not to bat an eye. I'm sure the same will go for the Eye of Grey and...
The reason I invited you out for tea and a chat today was to get some feedback from...
Well, I genuinely have nothing bad to say. No matter how many times I hear you sing, it never gets old. It always seems fresh and new somehow. Maybe it's because the more times I listen, the more details I notice. Or maybe you simply improve with every...
Thank you! I'm delighted to hear that. Could you give me any specific examples?
Oh, yeah. The piece you sang today. Hey, what's with you? I'm just praising a good performance. I always used to find that such a bleak and lonely song. But the more you listen, the more you realize that it's not as cold and nihilistic as it appears. When you...
Wow, I'm impressed. I didn't expect you to pick up on that. Still, Beneath the Frozen Rib...
Oh, really? But it's a classic.
Almost every time.
Oh. Well then, let me say...
I didn't sing that one today either. My voice wasn't quite up to it, so...
Oh. But,
Sorry, Mr. Mitia, but you were at the theater today, yes?
Of course I was. Remember? I said hello to all the troupe members before the show.
So what did Odette sing today?
Elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose, of course.
Correct. I see. I see. You find my singing boring, don't you? That's why you don't remember a single song. Looks like I'll need to cut a few from the program next time.
No, that's not it. I swear. All right. I'll be straight with you. I enjoy watching your shows because the exquisite performances stimulate the mind. It always sparks some inspiration for my So whenever I get stuck at work, I come to the theater for a change of pace. Odette's dance during the Elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose today was simply incredible. It got me wondering what she's been going through recently. That look of sheer defiance in the face of utter tragedy, it was so inspiring. I started scribbling in my notebook right away. Not that I made a ton of progress in the grand scheme of things, but I still think it was productive. By the time I snapped out of it, The entire show had finished.
So what you're saying is, you didn't listen to my singing at all?
Unfortunately not. I'm sorry. I don't know which is more disrespectful. The fact that I don't always come for the show itself, or the fact that I missed your performance.
Seems like things are getting a little awkward.
Mitya just stepped into a conversational minefield. If there's one thing Vodyanitsa doesn't like, it's people who show disrespect for her performance. This meeting was so hard to set up. Don't tell me it's alright.
It's fine. I suppose this is affirming in its own way. At least, don't let it bother you. It certainly doesn't bother me.
She's showing a lot of restraint.
Well, I'll be sure to let Odette know how much you adored her performance.
Please don't say that. I always love your performances too. It's just that inspiration struck at the wrong time today.
I know, I can tell. That's why I value your opinion. I'm sure some people can't stand it when others praise their coworkers right to their face, but not me. No.
Fair enough. I still feel kind of bad though.
But you know what I really can't stand? People who only show up to the theater to pretend that they're cultured. Makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh yeah, 100%. There are too many of those people around. By the time they're walking out the door, they've forgotten all about the show. What's wrong? You look furious.
I don't know if you've heard about the boss of the Iskra manufacturing box tickets only, premium drinks, even the right to request
Well played, Vodyanitsa. Seems like she's harnessing her rage to...
Now that you mention it, I've interacted with that guy before. I gotta say, everyone...
Yeah, he couldn't care less about what's happening on stage. He's just there to flaunt his social status. What's the big deal with that factory he runs anyway? I asked around a bit and heard some pretty shocking stories. Sounds like he's just another greedy capitalist.
Oh, really?
Yep, the things people are saying are pretty damning. Low wages, insanely long working hours, equipment running around the clock. And as if Project Stuja has now been extended so many times, we're at the point where Crystal rations for the common folk are... If the rumors are true, he's in serious violation of the law.
Interesting. So you've heard about it too.
What? So it's really true?
Who knows? I've only heard the same rumors you have. But there's no smoke without fire. The Rooster's been coming down on us hard lately, demanding that we track and trace every single batch of Crystal. My coworkers in the department of...
The Rooster? I didn't realize he cared that much.
Yeah. Even though there are no restrictions on Crystal trading, the poor will wind up freezing to death if we let the rich buy as much as they want. That's clearly unfair. Looks like we'll need to arrange an investigation into the Iskra manufacturing plant as soon as possible. I never knew you kept up with current affairs beyond the theater, Miss Vodyanitsa. You really have a heart for the common person. Most Fae in your position have long been indifferent to the plight of humans.
Well, those of us who choose to live in human cities are naturally going to pay attention to any significant upheaval. I'm just surprised to learn that even someone with as much experience as him is getting so stressed out over Project Stuja. What is the end goal of this project anyway?
This is it. We're finally going there.
I'm sure Mitya can sense on some level that she's fishing for information. But since their conversation is so relaxed, he might just let something slip.
It's stressing me out too. If I'd only made better progress with my research,
Oh, so your work is related to Project Stuja?
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source. Not the power of the Light Realm and not elemental energy. Right now, the only thing that meets the requirements is the power contained within stellar linchpins. But harnessing that power is costly. Each step of the process requires enormous amounts of Kresnik crystal, from extraction to quantification to attempts at conversion. Progress has been painfully slow, and the team is getting burned out as time goes by. Sometimes, I see people staring into space as if in a trance.
Could it be that this new energy source has side effects?
No, it doesn't affect us, because the energy is used for... Okay, I got it. Stop choking me. I think we're all just exhausted. We've been working ourselves to the bone for so long with so little progress to show for it. It's no wonder people are struggling to stay motivated.
Seems like I owe you an apology.
Don't worry about it. I count myself lucky, to be honest. I don't envy the people who work closely with the Tsaritsa herself. I'd much rather be in my current position. At least I don't have to shoulder any major responsibilities.
So they're trying to develop a completely new kind of energy. Yeah, censored by a scarf. Who would have thought?
Oh, dear. It looks like my time is up. I'm so sorry. We ended up barely talking about the theater.
That's okay. It was a pleasure chatting with you, really.
Let's make up for it next time. Yeah, hopefully once the work pressure eases up a little, I'll be able to focus more on the performance, and then we'll have more to discuss. We touched on some confidential issues today. I'd be grateful if you could keep it between us.
That could have gone worse.
Nice job. Why was Mitya in such a hurry to leave, though?
Sorry, routine inspection. Okay, let's go.
So he wasn't rushing to get back to work. He must have calculated that.
One of the main duties of the Special Assignments Battalion is to ensure that important figures stick to their schedules.
All right, time for us to get going too. Excuse me, check please.
We'll settle our check too, then.
Oh, hello there. Mr. Mitya paid the check before leaving. He also asked me to pass on a message. He said it was an honor to share his tea break with Miss Vodyanitsa and her two friends.
Wait.
So he knew we were here all along? This raises a lot of questions. Maybe his work isn't confidential after all. Maybe the key here is the purpose of this new energy. Vodyanitsa and Alosha have both left. Time to head back and call it a day.
Running late again. You're back! Here pretty early today. Paimon was just gonna mention that. After she woke up today, Paimon felt like her temperature was completely back to normal. Still, there's some good news. Paimon thinks she might have figured out the source of the problem. It's like there's some kind of mysterious power affecting Paimon. Paimon's never felt this way before. She only started feeling this way since we arrived in Snezhnaya.
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source.
Could that have something to do with this?
What is it? You're making that face again. You know, the one you get whenever you have a light. So, they're trying to develop a new energy. Well, Mitya denied that the energy they're researching has any side effects. Although, he did say that people working on the project have been having issues with their concentration and short-term memory. And even so, those are completely different symptoms from Paimon's. It's pretty faint, so it's kind of hard to tell. But if anything, it seems like it's coming from roughly the same direction as the Armory Palace. Sure, Paimon's with you there. But how, though? The robot only has a limited amount of intel. you about Project Stuja every day. If we could sit in on one of their sessions, good idea! Oh yeah, while you were out, Paimon tried all the yummiest looking desserts in the Potvoria restaurant. This one seemed right up your alley. So, Paimon saved some for you. Come try it once you finish writing your letter.
Alosha replied, he says that we won't be able to speak with the VII, but he can arrange for us to attend as visitors. Time to get ready. Then head to the Snezhnograd VII.
Miss Vodyanitsa, prima donna of the Koryliev.
Sorry, I'm not taking interviews today. Oh good, you're here. The session's about to begin. Let's get inside.
Please wait, Miss Vodyanitsa. Could you introduce me to your new friend?
In summary, the energy management commitments made for the outgoing period have been delivered upon. Furthermore, both the production and consumption of Kresnik Crystal show clear signs of stabilizing. The relevant agencies have assessed the present circumstances and determined that the status quo can be sustained until the next period. For it should also be noted that while the recent blizzards have led to a significant increase in people's energy expenses, this is strictly a short-term phenomenon. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa is giving her full attention to this matter. We should have every confidence that it will be dealt with swiftly and conclusively. A financial report on disaster relief is also present in this report, courtesy of Pantalone.
They cover the same old ground every single time. There's a general lack of trust. People aren't seeing any tangible benefit.
Yeah, if it weren't for these hard copy documents, I could have at least made something up. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just out here trying to hit my interview quotas. Bring out the kvass. Ever read it?
If I remember correctly, you guys don't even have a sales permit. You have to sell from stalls on the street.
Okay then, best-selling street stall newspaper in town. Still counts.
Order! We will now open the floor to the representatives. If there are no further substantive issues to discuss,
Snezhnaya has a long tradition of treating members of the VII armed forces and their... But recent surveys shows that VII families in remote areas have access to 15% less... It's been said many times before, but it bears repeating now. There needs to be a clear and consistent rationale.
Perhaps you wouldn't need to keep repeating yourself if you would hear me out for once. I say again, true consistency exists only in principle. In the real world, fairness is relative. You appear to treat resource allocation as a simple function of production and population. So what about when the equipment you factored that into your equation? And do you even know how long it's been since Snezhnaya last conducted a census?
If I knew the answers to questions like... I'd like to bring the focus back to the specific issue I raised. Or do you wish to deny that
It's easy to be a critic when there's no accountability. That seems to be a running theme in the anti-Project Stooja. Defeat the ringleader and all other problems will magically resolve themselves. That's what they seem to think. But in case you aren't aware, not one jot in my report would change whether Project Stooja continues or not.
So you have no intention whatsoever of finding a solution to this problem?
On the contrary, I'm the only one here who ever brings solutions.
Child opened by speaking up for the armed forces. Regrator struck back with style and a war of words ensued. Our reporter was live on the scene to get the audience's reaction as it all unfolded. Who do you support? The people have spoken! Child received raucous applause from the crowd as he pushed Regrator onto his back foot with a relentless barrage.
Now you see why they don't have a sales permit.
However this reporter wants to spin things, I haven't forgotten that Tartaglia was representing the North, so surely their relationship can't always—
You two are getting off topic. Let's focus on what the data is saying.
Mr. Pantalone, may I speak on your behalf?
Oh, please do. I'm more than happy to save my breath.
Crystal distribution policy undergoes modifications with each new period. The ultimate goal being to find the most reasonable method of allocation. But I fear many may have been misled on this topic by extremist activists. To clarify, Project Stooja is not. The most recent reports all point to Snezhnaya's resilience and adaptability during this period of fine-tuning. To make drastic adjustments without first considering the risks would likely do more harm than good. It would be a waste of the hard-won experience we've gained to date.
Renowned scholar of finance, Arapov spoke up to clarify the fiscal logic, clearly alluding to social organizations like the Rokot in his words. With the notorious Lelex still active to this day, should the Rokot be held responsible? No, there is someone else to blame.
She's just rephrasing what Mr. Pantalone said. The Rokot are the critics he accuses of taking no responsibility. As for Lilac, you won't have heard of him yet. He's currently ending Project Stooja has become an obsession for him. Unlike the more so whether it's threats, coercion, or bribery, he'll use whatever means necessary to get people to change their vote.
And since we're already on the subject, what do you think of Lelec's methods? Are you for or against? Yes, don't we all? Lelec supporters grow in number by the day. We stand with Lelec!
At least someone here wants to take this discussion seriously. I've been considering that issue myself. What you really need is more precise regional data, right? I think it would be easiest to let the Fatui handle it, since they're already in charge of Crystal shipments anyway. We may as well get them to collect some data while they're at it. Whatever you need, you can ask the Fatui to look into it for you. In terms of supervision, I think the Druzhna would be a good fit. I had hoped to discuss this with Miss Vesna, but sadly, she's not present.
I will be happy to take a note of your suggestions and present them to Commander Vesna for a decision upon her return. The Commander has always taken a keen interest in Project Stooja. However, given the Druzhna's demanding—
Let us refrain from jumping to conclusions until a concrete and actionable plan is in place.
My apologies, Lord Rooster.
There are numerous issues to address here, including manpower, time sensitivity, and reporting lines. Nevertheless, I support drafting a proposal. Follow the usual procedure, and it can be raised as a new motion for all parties to evaluate at the appropriate time.
In that case, I'd like to share one thought before the proposal is drafted. The issue of time sensitivity was raised just now, which I presume relates to the official reports. In fact, the Energy Commission already collects regular statistics on each urban center and its surrounding area. Would these be of any use?
That's a good idea. I read every issue of Sviet Lolaidovka's report, and although my focus is mostly on the section about equipment operation, the energy consumption statistics also yield a lot of insights.
Be that as it may, does no one see an issue with using local data to determine crystal quotas? In the long term, it seems like a very risky solution.
Not if they are used purely for reference. So long as we have the report from the Northland Bank's headquarters to corroborate it, no one will be able to fool me.
Very well then. It appears that this arrangement is acceptable to all parties.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
The members reached a provisional consensus on the issue of improving treatment for Fatui soldiers. Today, the prima donna of the Korailievsky troupe attended a session of the SNEP.
Write anything like that again, and I'm revoking your permission to interview the troupe. Got it?
Now then, if there are no further contributions from those present, we shall proceed to the final vote.
Hey, check it out! What made him vote against? Why now?
The votes have been tallied. Those in favor of continuing Project Stuja total 61%.
That was too close. The margin has shrunk yet again. Chuganov was a huge loss.
I'll bet Lelek is behind this. I wonder how Pulcinella will respond this time.
Chuganov. I see. Lelek strikes again.
Yes. Go, Lelek. Once Project Stuja is defeated, our unwavering support would bring out the...
In accordance with the result of this vote, Project Stuja will remain in effect until the next VII period. We debate only for the greater glory and solidarity of our nation. The session is concluded.
I have to say, I really wasn't expecting Chuganov to vote against Project Stuja. Well, in principle, Snezhnaya's business and political elites ought to be the ones least likely to... As we heard, Project Stuja is basically just a resource distribution framework that requires everyone to cut back during the winter. But even if the policy got cancelled, the Tsaritsa's energy needs wouldn't suddenly go down. The extra demand from the public would have to be filled from some... I got a letter from Mr. Mitya just before today's session. He said he's confirmed that there are issues around overtime and excessive energy consumption at the Iskra manufacturing plant. In a situation like this, once the Rooster receives the report, he'll order the factory to halt production and submit to an investigation before issuing a penalty. But that's a week-long process, and thus didn't make it onto the VII agenda this time. I don't think he suspects anything so far. Exactly. And as you know, he's a very selfish person. I was originally gonna try and flip him after he received notice of the official sanctions. My plan was to convince him that the whole thing, rather than just sit back and take the hit while his factory stopped production, he'd be better off voting to end Project Stuja. At least that way, no one else would be able to make any money either, because all the factories would suddenly have more limited energy to work with. But now, he's already voted against it. Which means someone must have used more forceful means to change his vote. Just like with everyone else who flipped. Yeah, no one knows why Lilac is so obsessed with ending Project Stuja. But by the looks of it, he's inching closer and closer to success.
Lilac must have strong motivations, given how he'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. Maybe he knows the full truth of Project Stuja. Maybe my next step should be to focus on him.
All right. What are your plans for the rest of the day? Shall we head out?
Hey, comrade. I noticed you were here during the debate.
I didn't take you for a political enthusiast.
Greetings, Harbingers. I just happened to have some free time today, and my new friend here thought it might be fun to check out the VII.
Ah, Odette must have introduced you. Looks like you two are getting along pretty well.
I'll leave you to catch up. I should head back to the troop.
Sure. Break a leg and all that. Thought it might be fun to check out the VII, did you? Things are never that simple with you, Traveler. There's no way you're here for kicks and giggles. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. To some, he's a captivating enigma. To others, he's the bane of their existence. No one ever thought that some anonymous nobody from the Rokot could cause such a stir. Huh? You want to look into Lelik? Then I'm sure his days of anonymity are numbered. What do you think, Sandrone?
Fine by me, I guess. If the Traveler actually manages to expose Lelik, in return, it seems fair to let her in on what we've learned so far.
My thoughts exactly. Sharing is caring, after all. Head back to Glupov and grab the files on Lelik. It's easier to just pull the records than go through the rigmarole of getting the Traveler a visitor's permit.
As you command, child, sir.
In that case, since we're going to be waiting anyway, I'll have someone brew a pot of black tea.
One common thread among the many incidents Lelik has been involved in is that the victims are all too scared to share any real information about him. Clearly, he must have threatened them in some way. His modus operandi is to silently infiltrate the scene and leave a threatening letter behind. But so all these files have to offer are short statements by the people affected. They don't give us a lot to go on.
If nothing else, it shows we're dealing with a trained professional who's versed in counter-surveillance.
Yes, and to that point, he often strikes in highly secure locations. The victims are high-ranking and influential people who take their personal security very seriously. Somehow, Lelik slips right into their rooms without making a sound. There's never any eyewitnesses, nor the slightest trace of a break-in. If he can get in and out undetected, it means he can strike without warning. Not that that's ever happened so far, but the thought is enough to scare these people sleepless. It's hard to believe that a human being could pull this off flawlessly every time, so they switched the focus of the investigation to Faye. Unfortunately, no one's found anything yet. Careful, don't underestimate me. Although truth be told, I'd probably find it hard not to blow my cover. Direct confrontation is more my style.
We haven't ruled out the possibility of Lelik being human. It's just, there can only be a handful of people in all of Teyvat who'd fit the profile. Faye, on the other hand, plenty would have the ability, but few would have the motive.
No, not as strong as me. You'll never find the culprit with criteria like that. Let's go with a little... Oh, you hit me right where it hurts. I'll admit, he's strong and meticulous. But can we at least limit this to candidates who have something to do with Snezhnaya?
She's just trying to find a reference point. Stop getting fixated on who's stronger than who.
But that's the most important thing. In my opinion, anyway.
Odette? Yeah, that seems about right. Her skills are solid, and she's always calm under pressure.
Except she's Fatui, so the likelihood of her working against us is pretty low.
No, wait a moment. Maybe we should interrogate that assumption.
What do you mean? Which assumption?
Her Fatui identity doesn't necessarily exonerate her. And when you think about it, the Rokot would be precisely what she needs to conceal her identity.
Plus, she wouldn't need to be such a pro at covering her tracks. She'd already know where the Fatui will be and when. So she could choose. Oh, yikes. I was just thinking out loud. Why is this starting to sound like such a convincing theory? Still, what reason could Odette possibly have for trying to call off Project Stuja?
Arlecchino would be the best person to ask. She knows Odette best. Unfortunately, she isn't back yet. Rosaline used to open up to her in private about her struggles with Odette. As I'm sure you can imagine, Arlecchino is quite a lot better with children than Rosaline was. She gave her some tips on how to handle the situation, and Rosaline managed to reach a settlement with Odette before leaving. So I suppose there were at least no lifelong regrets left behind. Beyond that, I don't know the details about that side of things. But I do know that Odette definitely has a motive to hold a grudge against Project Stuja. The reason being, her father passed away during the early stages of the project. That was back before it had been named Project Stuja, when things were still being worked out. But in essence, it's remained the same ever since.
The more you know. Rosaline was always so self-centered. I never understood why she started paying so much attention to Odette. Is that such a surprise? If you cast your mind back, you may remember that Rosaline and I weren't exactly close. We had tea together a few times, but that was about it.
Odette's past is no secret. Her father was a fatus and her mother was a very famous ballerina. On the surface, it looks like she followed right in her parents' footsteps. But the truth is quite a different story. After her father passed away on a mission, her mother was overcome with grief. She broke her leg during a performance and could never dance again. Odette was only interested in ballet at the time, but this tragedy left the family with both breadwinners gone. They could barely, per Capitano's policy, family members of Fatui who died in the line of duty had to be. So, regardless of how Rosaline may have felt about it, it fell to her to resolve the issue.
Right, because the alternative would have been a one-off compensation payment, I guess. In that sense, joining up was definitely the better option. Still, she must have had mixed feelings about it, right? If she doesn't even like the Fatui.
It's just a theory, a possibility. But as a motive for Odette to become Lelik, it holds up. That said, I have no idea where Odette's head is at right now, or what her conflict with Rosaline was about. Plenty of people were on bad terms with Rosaline. I have no intention of, yes, but there's not much point in discussing that now.
Yeah, back to Lelik. Since our investigations so far have turned up next to nothing, we've got nothing to lose by trying a new angle. Funnily enough, Tonya and I had actually made plans to go to the theater tomorrow to watch Odette's rehearsal, which means you can go in my place. No point wasting the ticket. Plus,
Spirit Seeker. Quite the classic ballet. It was passed down through Odette's mother's, but Odette's been practicing it diligently, and it's finally ready for a return to the stage.
Tonya's excited for it too. She's desperate to see it no matter what. Personally, it's not really my kind of thing, but since she's my little sister...
I've actually seen it several times before. The story's pretty. It's a tale of love and regret. So not exactly reinventing the wheel, but when that classic melody kicks in, and the lead character... Not an easy dance to do justice to, though. I know it's always been Odette's dream to perform this piece, but I'm not sure she's really ready.
In that case, I think that even if she is Lelik, we should wait until her performance is over before we respond. I'll let you take it from here, comrade.
Hurry up, Grassa! Gotta steer clear of other people. Running late again.
Sounds like you've made a ton of progress today. It's good that everything's going so smoothly. Next step is to head back to the theater and get a clear answer from Odette. Either way, Paimon doesn't get the sense that she's a bad person. Sure, she might have done some pretty Maybe this is going too far, but like, with everything she's managed to do why leave a letter when she could, well, we know there are plenty of other ways to keep So, if it is her, yeah, well, all you can do is no change, really. But that thing, Paimon, hearing you talk about your day makes Paimon itch.
Yeah, I wish you could be there too. I'm not used to adventuring alone. But don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this.
Guess it's just one of those things. Never mind.
If Odette is Lelek, she may well have inside information on Project Stuja. Her father was involved with the project's early implementation and tragically died in the process. Now, she's dedicated herself to bringing it to an end. It's hard to imagine she could have gotten this far without knowing anything at all about the Tsaritsa's true intentions. When she spoke to us as a member of the Fatui, how much did she let on? Only time will tell. Maybe tomorrow everything will be answered.
Hey, look! It's snowing! Could be a tough day ahead. Make sure you wrap